Hey, what's going on? Assalamu alaikum, family. Peace and greetings to everyone. Facebook world, YouTube world. This your brother Supreme Max. With another Separation of Death broadcast that we do every Tuesday night at this time on this platform. So we are now streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you're watching on Facebook, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Forward Money, and please make sure you follow us on Instagram as well, Forward Money. E- Everything we do is Forward Money. So tonight, on this broadcast here, this is separation of death. I know it's a hard topic, but somebody got to take it up. It correlates with what we do. With the topic business is warfare, but we might come out with a show called Business is Warfare too. So be on the lookout for that. But as of right now, we're pushing separation of death, and then we got the future of money. So be on the lookout for the third show, which will be the future business is warfare broadcast, our business is warfare podcast, or something like that. So be on the lookout for us. So tonight, family, but on this platform here, we always highlight um the Final Call newspaper, right? Because this newspaper here is so amazing that so let's just get to it. Let's go to it. So this newspaper here is so amazing because of the content that's in it, right? And we always highlight an article out of the latest Final Call newspaper. So this issue here is dealing with running. The title is Running While Black. Now, this is our brother who was killed back in February. Our brother Ahmad Arbery. Aubrey. Thank you. He was killed by two white vigilantes, two white peacemakers or community peacemakers, so they claim themselves, right? But he was killed by them unjustifiably, and it took about 2 months for them to get arrested. Now on this platform, we don't talk about that, but since this is the cover to this story, we have to highlight it. But we're not going to go so much into the article, but I did want to let the people see the type of content that's inside of the Final Call newspaper. And for those that don't know, this is the longest running international business, the longest running international newspaper, black owned operated newspaper. And the Final Call, we don't have no outside forces. We don't have no advertisement coming from outside. Peace, God, wa alaikum salam, everybody on Facebook. We don't have no outside tourism. We have no support other than the people that support and buy the Final Call newspaper. Now, everybody buys the Final Call newspaper. It's not just restricted to black people in America. I used to sell the Final Call newspaper. I distribute the Final Call newspaper on a day-to-day basis for a long period of time, for 3 consecutive years straight, going out into the community 6-7 days a week, getting our people to see what needs to be seen, and trying to highlight something that we do for self and something that is black owned and black distributed, and it has no restrictions on it. It has no restrictions on it. This is what we could do, and this is what we can continue to do, and we have to continue to still promote it because we have now went full digital. So you're not going to see the brothers on the corner no more. Matter of fact, we haven't been on the corner in about a week. I've been in the community with the paper in about a week due to the coronavirus pandemic, right? So just a lot of highlight stuff in here. So we look at the main article. Huh? What I said, a month? Oh, we haven't been out in a month. Excuse me. All right. So we just have these. So I just want to look at some of the stuff that's in it. It deals with everything politics. It goes worldwide. It's national. We in Africa. It got articles in Africa. It got stuff. A lot of stuff dealing with the United States. It just got a lot of stuff going on. You got all the major stuff going on in the inner city. You got it over is in Asia. It's dealing with stuff in the White House, Congress. We over here in Europe, Italy, Rome. This article here, and this is the latest edition right now, and it costs you about $4.99 to get a month. So, but you got to get like 3 months at a time. So you mean it's about It's about $13 for 3 months, and it comes out every Tuesday. So this is the latest. You got Truth in Afghanistan. So we're gonna take you around the whole world. Now, then we got an article right here that we might do a live stream about, and later on in the week, dealing with Trump denies United States role in mercenary incursion attempt into Venezuela. Now, what happened over there was 2 American soldiers supposed to have been in a coup to try to kidnap a Venezuelan official, government official, but somehow the coup out of the tactic that they was using to get him, it got botched, and but they end up getting, the United States soldiers end up getting kidnapped, 2 of them. Now Trump is denying claims, President Trump is denying claims that he had anything to do with it. But we know all well he's a liar, so we don't know what's the truth about that. Then we got stuff dealing in London, in the Sudan, Libya conflict. This is the latest edition. I'm just going through, highlighting some of the stuff that you can get and read, and not only study, but get the news from your own people. Get the news from writers who look like you. Get the information from somebody that look like you, that's not going to be biased about the information, not going to omit anything, like the controlled media that we are being misinformed by, miseducated by CNN, Fox, NBC, Facebook. This is something that this platform here, you're going to get it real cut in the raw, and you're going to get where to go and find the articles at, whether you can go and cross-reference what you find in the Final Call newspaper. It's always an article in the Final Call newspaper from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the teacher of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. This paper is really derived from Muhammad Speaks newspaper, and when the minister rebuilt the nation back in 77 and 79, he launched the Final Call newspaper, because after the minister, it is the final call. It will not be another call after the minister. So you are here to it now. I missed, and it's an article in it about from the minister. That is the centerfold. This article is who is the natural enemy of the original man, the National Prison Reform Ministry. It got all of that. So the Nation of Islam, what we do inside of the prison system, because I'm a product of that, so I can talk to how the nation reformed me, transformed me, by me having a long period of time to really study the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, which deals with pure science in the nature of everything. So it deals with the nature of myself, the nature of other people, the nature of everything, and it is pure science. That's why nobody can defeat our arguments. Nobody can defeat us in a debate. We have the way forward, right? We have that type of knowledge. We got How to Eat to Live, which everyone should get and go and study this. This is not a suggestion diet with How to Eat to Live. This is a need. You need to know how to eat to live. You need this information. You need this diet to live a long, healthy, abundant life. And we're taught in the nation to eat only 1 meal per day. Only 1 meal per day, no snacks in between. And once we master the 1 meal per day, we eat 1 meal every other day, or 1 meal every 3 days. The longer you can sustain and have your stomach, the longer you can live, right? Then on the back page, we have the the Muslim program, which I will go into. The Muslim program, which tells what the Muslims want and what the Muslims believe. I'm not going to read it here, but you can go and get this. And on the back page of every Final Call newspaper, you will find this in the back of it, right? And it tells us, and it tells you what the Muslims want and what the Muslims believe. Because we got so much of a discommunication, disinformation. We got so much stuff going on where we don't believe, we believe what the enemies of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, say about what we believe in and what we want. So you can go and read this and study this, and if you don't agree with it, then don't agree with it. But if you do agree with it, then cool. Come and support however you can support. That don't mean you have to join, right? Because it's speaking for all people, not even just black people, speaking for everybody, right? And then it also tells you what we believe in. So if somebody tell you that we don't believe in Jesus, we don't believe in that, you can say, well, I went and read what they believe in on they newspaper, and it tells us that they believe in all of the prophets of God. You know, so that way you can know who and what type of information they coming from, because people are trying to the enemy is trying to keep us away from this teachings and from this, right? Because what this teaching will do is we'll give you the knowledge of self, and it will give you the knowledge of everything else outside of self. Because once you understand self, then you can start to master stuff outside of self. But if you don't understand self, then you will never be able to master stuff outside of self. So the article that we're going in today, but before we go into that, I do want to take a small brief moment, and I want to talk about our brother Ahmad and what happened to him. And you know, the Nation of Islam, we are not into protesting and picketing and all of that. We do for self, you know. So stuff has been outlined for us to do as a people, and not to say that this stuff won't happen, but a lot of it wouldn't happen, right? So this is just what we have to do. We say that separation is the best solution between the black and the white conflict in America. Period. Period. Separation, total separation, right? From anybody that has the white supremacy mindset. Not so much their skin color. We're not dealing with skin color. We're dealing with a mindset, and we're dealing with a political system, a judicial system, an economic system, a social system, and an education system that puts us further and further away into the hole, puts us further and further away from being an independent thinking people, right? So a lot of this stuff wouldn't happen if we would adhere to the message that comes from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is still in our midst, who celebrated his 87th birth anniversary yesterday, and he is still here, strong than ever. And we heard him Sunday on our power line Sunday morning. We heard him give a prayer and talking to the believing community, and everybody else who was in it, right? So, and this paper is so significant because the minister he mortgaged his home twice to get this paper off the ground from nothing. So a lot of people talking about, well, y'all doing this, y'all selling the paper, what the minister doing? Well, I didn't have to put up my house to have the final call printed. I didn't have to come out my pocket to have the final call distributed around the whole world. And he set it up for us to make a decent income or to make rewards and donations from just going and distribute the paper. He went through the hardship to get this paper off. That's why some of us who in the nation that take this paper serious, we get real offended when you talk about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in this paper, right? We would be ready to fight you, you know what I'm saying, when you talk about that, because a lot of us have bought cars, homes, wedding rings, engagement rings, transferred our life, had money in our pocket every day, you know what I'm saying, and made a decent living without selling drugs from this final call newspaper. So if you don't have nothing to offer to the people, don't shoot down what you don't got a comprehensive understanding of. Just sit back and just pay attention and ask questions. Humble yourself and ask questions about certain things so you can get that knowledge. But our condolences goes out to the family of Brother Ahmad, and you know, and we hope that justice will be saved. But justice for him is death to those two white men. That's just what it is. We got to understand what justice is. Justice is not them going to prison for the rest of their life. One of them is already in his 60s. What if he only lived to be 70? Well, he didn't even suffer much. But our brother was 25, and he don't have a chance to be his best self, right? He don't have a chance to be known for something great or to do anything. We don't know if he had children or whatever. But if he did, he's not available to see his children grow up. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sad. And, you know, and it's sad, but we have to come together. And one of the main elements that is keeping us further away from coming together and further away from separation is an economic base. So on this platform, since nobody's talking about it, nobody's taking up the subject, we're going to take it up. And like I said, be on the lookout. Coming soon, Business is Warfare, broadcast will be the next issued addition to our already 2 show and broadcast that we already got. Saturday, the future of money. Tuesday night, separation of death, and then we're going to pick out another day of the week to come out with business is warfare, because this is the type of information that we have to get out. So now, as we shift gears, we want to get into the presentation of the topic of this presentation. We want to get into it right now, and we want to go ahead because this is not going to be a long broadcast. We're going to keep it about 30 minutes. So we're already 15 minutes through, and this is what we want to deal with today. Coronavirus crisis threatens Eurozone's survival. EC. EC stands for European Commission. The European Commission has warned that the coronavirus and the economic crisis that has ensued threaten the stability of the Eurozone and risk its survival. Right? The Commission said on May the 6th, the EU economy will experience a recession historic proportions in 2020 due to the coronavirus pandemic. In its spring forecast, the Commission forecast that the Eurozone economy will contrast by about 8% this year. Now, let's pause for a minute. The EU also stands for the European Union, right? And I know a lot of y'all saying, well, we in America, man, how that's affecting us? Family, we got to understand that the European Union, the IMF, the Federal Reserve, the SWIFT payment system, the European Central Bank, and the international bankers are all tied together, right? So the EU is hurt, their whole system is hurt. And if you don't know, the EU, the international, and the ECB, the European Central Bank system, is headquartered in Germany. So Germany is really the strong financial center of the West, with Frankfurt, Germany, and Berlin, right? That is really the stronghold of the Western economic center. When you deal with the Western world and you deal with the European world, make no mistake about it. So whatever is happening over there, it does affect us, right? It might don't affect us immediately, but it's going to affect us in the long run. Because if you don't know, the euro is a stronger currency on the market right now than the dollar bill, right? So you just gotta follow this stuff, and you gotta know what's going on. That way you know what's coming here. By 8% this year. Growth projections for the EU in Euro area have been revised down by around 9%, 9 percentage points compared to the autumn 2011 economic forecast, according to the report. The Commission repeated its call for a pan-European recovery plan to help compensate for diverging physical firepower between member states. So this is they need the support of each other because their economy is suffering. The European economy, the Western world economies are suffering due to this pandemic. Now, family, you see the ticker going down. Subscribe to the Digital Final Call. The website is right there, and support Muhammad's 3-year economic blueprint. Right? You see that there. And if you're watching on Facebook, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel Forward Money. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, so you can get notified, family, to keep supporting this type of information. And whatever you want to donate to the Muhammad Economic Blueprint, that is all you support it, because we're trying to get us territorial land. We're trying to get us farmland, and we can start producing enough food to take care of our own people, right? So that's Muhammad's Economic Blueprint. So if you're interested in real estate and donate to a real estate cause, there you go, right? And subscribe to the Digital Final Call, and you can go and get books. We had The Fall of America. We have a lot of books. You got to Eat to Live, book 1 and 2. We got this heavyweight book right here of You Aspiring to Be Wealthy. This is a book that you should have on your shelf. You should study this book. and know everything that you need to know about this book. And this book is titled The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, Volume 2, How Jews Gain Control of the Black American Economy. And you got to also understand that Amazon took this book off the shelf. It's 3 volumes to their book, and they took them all off. But you can get it from us because we independent, and we will give you this information one way or another, right? And we will give you this information one way or another. So, with that being said, fam, and the number one book that I feel like you should get this book right here if you haven't already got it, and study it and keep it. This is one of the highest. This is one of the, man, this book here did so much for me and transforming me. This book right here, it did a whole lot to transform me from a nigga to growing and thinking into a God. You're right. From a thinking like a Negro, thinking like a slave. It helped unlock some of the barriers or some of the change that was on my mental. So please go and get this illuminating book, which might be the best book that we have to offer, right? And it's definitely top 2, right, that we have, right? But I think it's number 1. You got to get it to get a basis of where we at, what happened to us, what's going on. Message to the Black Man in America. Please go and get those books. And Message to the Black Man for All America, you can get for about $5 or $7 a piece, right? And the Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews gonna run you about $20. That's a major investment. So we seeing what's going on as we shift gears from this, because we are wrapping up. Please like this and share this out. As we shift gears from this, we seeing that the coronavirus has taken a major toll on the Western world economy. Now, if you haven't set up an economy to protect yourself in your own house, then this threatens you too. So now you got to prepare for survival. And one of the main reasons we have to prepare for survival is because we don't understand the difference between money and currency. And we don't understand the difference between, not the difference, but we don't understand. We don't want to get involved in trade and commerce. You know, we want to do all other type of business, but it don't set you up to be involved in trade and commerce, right? So as we shift gears and as we show the world debt clock, I'm going to highlight the world that is suffering the most from the debt clock. And you need to understand that this is an active site that you can go and look at. So if everybody was to look at this and really get an understanding on what this is, man, we can probably get free and have a separate territory overnight and set up our own government. But when you set up a government, you got to set up all the elements that make up a government, all the ministries. You feel what I'm saying? You need a Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Defense, Spiritual Ministry. You need Ministry of Agriculture. You need all of these ministries, Science and Technology. You need these ministries if you're going to set up an independent, self-government nation, right? And now the Nation of Islam, we provide 9 ministries. Well, 10 now. We provide 10. So this is what we have to offer, because when the government of America falls, when it falls, where are you going to go? How are the people going to get governed? When the dollar falls, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you wake up and you can't spend $1? So here's the United States debt clock as we end this broadcast, and we want to thank everybody for joining. Look at the United States, number 1. All the major countries on the world. Now, the United States is $25 trillion in debt, but they only pulling in 21 trillion. So they almost 4 trillion minus in the red, right? Then you got China. China got $7 trillion in debt, but they pulling in 13 trillion. They GDP, right? Japan, which is an ally to America, right? And they got a lot of American assets, a lot of the bonds, like they got a lot of American treasuries. And you got to understand what that means. They got a lot of that. They are $11 trillion in debt, and they only pulling in GDP 4 trillion. Here's Germany. Germany is almost $3 trillion in debt, and they pulling in a GDP, but they are a little over the threshold because they pulling in. So they almost $1 trillion above the debt. So they almost $1 trillion in profit. Then you got the UK. They only about 200 billion in profit. No, they below. They down 200 billion because they pulling their debt is their national debt. The UK national debt is 3,438,000,000,000. Their GDP is 3,282,000,000,000. Now, and if you look at the debt clock, the difference between the debt clock and the GDP, or all of them, the debt clock is going up. Their GDP is going down. Do y'all see this? It's going down right here in our face. It's going up on one end, down in another end. You got India here. You got France here. India's in debt, right? But India pulling in more than they debt. So they not all the way in the red. France is all the way in debt. These are the European nations: UK, France, Germany, America, Italy. Italy is they ain't pulling in but almost 2 trillion, but they 3 trillion in debt. So you got to go and understand it, give you the balance, because you got to see when you know and you clocking net worth, we knowing that when you in debt, if I got a home that I'm paying 100,000 for, and I'm only pulling in my income 50,000, that means I'm 50,000 in the red. This how they wait. So if you got a country debt is 3 trillion, and they only pulling in 2 trillion, that means they $1 trillion in the red. Oh man, this is serious. You got Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Greece, Indonesia, Ireland, Korea, Mexico, you know, man, well, they not in debt like that. But this is what we need to be studying, family. Look at Russia. All of these folks in debt. Look at their national debt. Everybody's almost in the trillions. Everybody's pretty much in the trillions in debt. You know what I'm saying? And their GDP wants a massive, right? Some of them badly breaking even. So we got to understand and get a grip on this, on why this is like that, and have an understanding about finances, about banking, about economics, because a lot of our ills that's happening inside of our community and inside of America is dealing because the biggest scam that has been tricked on us is that the dollar, we think it's money, but the dollar is just a piece of paper. It's a banknote, right? It's a Federal Reserve banknote, and the Federal Reserve is not even a real bank, right? So we have to just get the mindset and study what needs to be studied if we want to be wealthy. Now, if you don't want to be wealthy, then none of that stuff I'm talking about with the debt shouldn't matter to you. Because when you go on the debt clock and you can see that the it is our belief that God raised up in. You can see that the dollar to gold ratio is higher than what they got the dollar for. You know, so the gold ratio right now, from dollar to gold ratio, gold's supposed to be almost $22,000 per ounce, but you can get it on the market spot price at $1,700 per ounce. So this is a big deal. You can go and study that. We got more streams coming out about that, but I want to go ahead and wrap this up. So I want to thank everyone for joining. Thank everyone for calling, but we want to end with a quick excerpt of a video of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan breaking down what we need to have power. Why the enemy won't let somebody with wisdom get money and somebody with money get wisdom, right? So this is what he want to keep away from us, and he broke this down back when I think the son Bush was the president, and it bears witness today because we got a lot of people running around saying they're conscious, but they don't know what money is. They don't have money. And then you got a lot of people that getting a lot of cash flow, but they don't got the knowledge of self. You know, when you're dealing with the rappers, you're dealing with the entertainers, right? They got a lot of cash flow. They got millions in cash. You know what I'm saying? Some of them got billions in cash, but they don't got the knowledge of self, right? So they don't know how to really use that to really have power to help their people. So listen to this, and then we're going to close out right after this. It's only about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but please listen at it full and take notes, family, because this is powerful.
It is our belief that God raised up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to be for us a man like Moses.
That's right.
To speak truth to power.
That's right. Come on.
And to let America know you have a choice in this matter.
That's right.
You do not have to go down like Pharaoh in Egypt.
That's right.
You can be the basis of the kingdom of God on earth. What is your decision? See? Babylon could have been healed.
That's right.
But she was not, because she refused to listen to one of her slaves that God had favored. And all arrogant slave masters have to know that the pattern of God in delivering his people is always that he raises someone up from among the abject. That's a test for your arrogance. Because when you think you're superior and God brings from a slave words that can deliver you from a painful chastisement, then you're in the valley of decision. Either your arrogance and your sense of power will make you want to hurt the man of God, or you will say, I see God.
Yes.
And I will submit to God, even though God's word is coming from one who has been my slave.
Right. Yes.
That is what America is faced with today. They allow you to be great in basketball and in football, but you're nothing but a piece of meat to entertain people. And they give you big money because they know they'll get it back because of food, and his money will soon part. They understand that money coupled with wisdom will give you power. So if they give you money, they keep you away from wisdom. And if you got wisdom, they keep you away from money, because the two must never be together. We understand that game. But now those brothers and sisters who are the great sports people, who make tremendous amounts of money, money that should be going to teachers who shape the destiny of the nation, you give it to back.
All right, family. So yes, family. So we want to thank everyone, and like I say, don't hesitate to subscribe to the Final Call newspaper. Don't hesitate to support Muhammad's economic blueprint. Please do so we can start ridding ourselves of some of these evils, and we can set up this independent nation, because we are going after territorial land. Don't tell us what they won't do. We've been taking care of Israel since 1948. Majority of our tax dollars that we pay to the government doesn't even go to the government, doesn't go to the people. It goes straight to Israel to support that nation. And they took that land from the Palestinians, and they is not justified in doing it. They did it injustifiably. They did it in a wicked means. That's why that planet, that land over there doesn't have any peace. But your tax dollars go to support that. So do not tell us what they won't do for us, when we did way more for this world and this country than the Israelis did, right? So we deserve that. We need that, and we have to do that, and we have to be more vocal, and we have to be more united when it comes to separation, when it comes to finances, economics, family. We need an economic. We can't even have a political base unless we got some economic base. Then we can fund whatever politician we want to fund. So we need all of that, but it starts with the economics, because you can know all of the stuff you know, but if you're not focusing on group economics, and group economics is not 6, 8 of us going to start a business, you know what I'm saying? No, when you're dealing with unity and you're dealing with group economics, it got to be the one with the best idea. Who has the best way forward for us? That's what we got to put on the table to present to the people, because it ain't about you being the one that say, well, yeah, he did this, he got this, we should just run with this, or this and that and third. You just want to be the name, but you don't want to help everybody. So when you're dealing with unity, real unity, we got to be one-minded. That meaning put every option on the table financially, every option, and weigh it, and let's vote, and let's move out with whoever got the most vote. Other than that, we ain't unified. We ain't connected and tied together, right? We're not. So we need to be producing systems, institutions, and until we can produce them, we need to be getting involved in systems and institutions, extract what we can extract from it until we build up our own self. It's like being pregnant. I mean, it's like being in the womb of your mother. When we come to birth, or while we're in the womb, before we come to birth, we're pulling from the system of our mother. And then at the proper time, when it's time for us to go, we have expanded. We didn't got from her system what we need. Now the umbilical cord can be cut and we can go and do for self. But now we know, I'm just using that in the baby form. We know that the baby still needs its mother, but it don't have to be in the womb anymore after it has got what it can get from doing that for 9 months, family. So we have to get in systems that we don't produce, that might got a Caucasian at the head. It don't matter. We got to get from these systems where we can get the better further us. It's like going to college. You go to college to get their education. You don't worry about who the professors is, they background record, they track record, nothing. And most of them might be freaks, cold-blooded freaks. You feel what I'm saying? And really not real teachers, because what they're teaching, they haven't mastered because you can't see it in their lifestyle, right? Imagine a teacher teaching entrepreneurship that ain't never started a business, teaching business management, but ain't never started a business. How you know how to manage a business? So this is just calculated ideas wrote down in a textbook that gives somebody a job for it to keep us in a certain box, right? So family, we have to do better, and we have to come together and saying that we're gonna, let's get together and let's put these ways on the table, because as of right now, we don't look no different before the quarantine started when it comes to us with economics. We look the same, or maybe even worse, because now more people don't even got jobs, or if they did have their own business, their business didn't fail due to the pandemic, and they've been crying about another stimulus check from the government that's just going to inflate the economy even further. We just saw that the American debt is at 25 trillion, over 25 trillion, and it's constantly rising. So how you're going to get wealthy, or how you're going to get what you need out of a system that's in debt, that's designed to only prop up a few people and leave everybody else on the bottom totem pole? How you going to do that? So with that being said, family, if you on Facebook, please subscribe to the YouTube channel for money. Please go subscribe to the Final Call, the digital Final Call. $13 will get you 3 months. Order the books. They come out once a month. I mean, the Final Call come out once a month. Order whatever book you might find that you might need or might benefit you, that you can pull from, and support Muhammad's economic blueprint, family. And we will see y'all on the next live stream. Be on the lookout for the live stream tomorrow, around in the late afternoon time, where we're going to go into some of this stuff going on with China and America, while America is trying to tell China that they can chalk $1.1 trillion that America owes China. You better stay in tune, family. World War III is right around the corner. So I hope you're prepared. If you're not, and if you don't only have the dollar, family, you are not prepared. I'm sorry. You are not prepared. So with that being said, family, we will see y'all then. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for supporting. Assalamu alaikum. Salam, peace. Au, we out.